Welcome to the Office of Demonology. I'm Dr. J, retired demon hunter and knower of things, and it's still old school April. And so I'm going to talk about Fear Street's The Cheater. But first, let's watch the back of the book trailer.
Carter Phillips is under a lot of pressure to ace her math achievement exam, so much pressure that she gets Adam Messner to take the test for her, in exchange for one date. But Adam wants more than a date, much more. Carter has no choice. She has to do whatever he asks. If not, he'll tell her secret and ruin her life. Adam's control over her gets more and more unbearable. Carter is desperate to get rid of him. But how? Is murder the only way?
This is the first Fear Street book I've ever read. I've read a lot of Goosebumps by R.L. Stine, and I do love the artwork on these books, but I will say I am not a 90s kid. I didn't grow up with these. Had I grown up with these, I could really see how it could be something nostalgic to want to collect and hold on to and reread. But since this is not a part of my childhood, much like Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew were, I don't think I would get into this series the way somebody who's a 90s kid would get into it. What did I think of the story? Well, the story's okay. It basically revolves around this girl. She's being pressured by her father to go to Princeton, and she needs to have a specific score on the math test. She's not going to get it. At least she believes she's not going to get it. It begins with Carter Phillips, who is the blonde girl on this cover, talking about cheating, and literally cheating on her boyfriend, not necessarily on a math test. And she's saying, I guess she feels bored because her boyfriend's an all-American good guy, does everything right, and she's kind of bored with him. Then Carter and her boyfriend go out to eat at some diner. One of the kids that works there also is in the math class with them. They're all smart. They all can do really well in math. She jokes around with her boyfriend saying, "Why don't you take this math test?" And he's like, haha, very funny. But then when he leaves, the dude who works there, his name's Adam, he's like, "I'll take the test for you, but you have to go out on a date with me." So she figures, whatever, one date, I'll go out with this dude. And he takes the test, he passes, they go out on a date, and it's actually a pretty good date. They go dancing, she's like kind of thinks he's attractive, he's more dangerous than her regular boyfriend, and that should have been the end of it. But of course it's not. And Adam Messner keeps coming back and saying, "Let's go on a second date." And he keeps pushing the envelope. And if you don't, I'm going to tell Daddy that you cheated on this math test. And so it goes on to the point where he's now saying, "I want money." Now let's talk about this. These people she comes from money, he's from the other side of the tracks. Now the thing I did not like about this book, and it's very 80s kind of John Hughes way of looking at things, where the rich people are these good people and the people from the other side of the tracks are bad people. At least in the John Hughes films, we see that the people on the other side of the tracks are not always bad. And they have a heart of gold. They just don't have the money like the rich kids do. In this book, there's none of that. You really don't get any feeling that the kids on the other side of the track are nothing but trash. And her rich friends, they're all perfect and they do everything right. All the other kids, because Adam had a girlfriend, she's trash, Adam's trash, everybody who hangs out and where Adam goes, they're all trash. There's no redeeming qualities to anybody on the other side of the tracks. And I mean, I knew kids in high school. I was friends with all the kids who went to shop class, and I was a rock and roller, if you want to call that, wore the jeans and rock and roll t-shirts and things like that. I would have been the other side of the tracks in this book. And I didn't like how they just paint those people with very broad strokes of being very negative, no redeeming qualities. And that was kind of annoying. And I think if they would have had something there, I would have enjoyed it more. But because that was nowhere to be found, I found that really irritating. Because it's just this rich people, doing something wrong, and we made a mistake, and now everything's all great. Which that's what basically happens at the end. It gets crazy. Her dad's a judge, everything seems to work out, but nothing works out. She's still cheated. She won't be going to Princeton. Her boyfriend is okay with the fact that she sort of cheated, and cheated in Fear Street is you kiss the guy, right? We're not going all over the place with this guy. Like, that's not Fear Street. This dude, she is just perfect. He does everything right. And it's okay that Adam just, bullied you into this. And it's like, she doesn't, I guess she learns a lesson because at the end they're playing chess and her boyfriend's like, oh, you're not going to cheat? And she's like, I think I learned my lesson. I like how the obstacles that Carter faces throughout the book get more and more crazy, but there's also things that just to me bother me. The fact that at one point they lied to the police, her and her boyfriend, about where they were during this investigation. None of that stuff's going to end well. Like, this book ends like everything's fine, we're playing chess. Like, I don't know. You did a lot of stupid things that will eventually come and hurt you. And that bothered me with this book. Now, you might say, and please let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh with a Fear Street book. This is just the way I am. I really get into this and I'm like, wait a minute, like, this doesn't make sense. This can't happen like this. But if I am, let me know in the comments, hey man, it's a Fear Street book, let it go. I will let it go. Will I read another Fear Street book? Probably not. If you think that I picked up the wrong Fear Street book and that I should have read, fill in the blank here, let me know in the comments. Which Fear Street book should I have read? Tell me. I will read that one and then I will give you my thoughts on that. Because this one doesn't make me want to read more. I do, again, I love the cover art. I love the nostalgia of this book. Even though I wasn't a 90s kid, I was young in the 90s, and this still brings back memories of going in bookstores and seeing these. I will add that Netflix has that Fear Street series, which I thought was really, it was fire. It was so good. I would like to see more of that with Netflix, putting more Fear Street out. Old school April had me read a Fear Street book, or Christopher Pike, whatever. I picked this. I checked it off the list, and yeah, I'll be back soon with a new video.